think it's record. It's recording now.
It is recording now
Yes.
because it's got the pause button right next to the button.
I'm going to leave that there
Okay.
because I don't want to look at me.
I don't want to look at you. Right, are we doing this?
Yeah, get this show on the road.
Okay. Don't look at the camera this time. We're doing the. Oh, what's it? Where was the comedian duo that did the talk over the TV and just talked about bollocks?
What?
What's his name? Smith and Jones.
I honestly thought you were doing a bit where you're like, oh, we're not going to look at the camera. We're just going to have what's it called? That's right, a conversation.
Yeah. No, it's just like they did wee skits where they just talked to each other about, I think, probably what's happened in the week, and then had like a wee conversational.
No, never saw that. Never saw that.
It was on their wee show that they used to do. Anyway, hello and welcome to yet another fine episode of Colin and Anime. God, it's been like 3 years I've been saying, or 3 or 4 years I've been saying hello, Calcio.
Yeah, I swear, I'd like. The
Every
thing is you paused and I was like, come on, say it, say couch show, and then you went, who's that anime? It's like, oh shit, that's right, that's what we're doing. It's not like we haven't been doing this for a year now.
No.
What episode number is this?
I don't think it's 52 yet.
No, we're close though, right?
You got the list. I think we're 40 something.
You are probably not far off. I can't remember if we have. I don't think we've reached 50 yet.
We'll definitely not reach 50.
Or if we have, this may be the 50th, but
Yeah.
where are we? This is the 50th episode.
Is it?
It is the 50th episode.
Oh my.
Half a century.
Yeah. Happy 50th episode to us.
Arbitrary celebrations.
Yeah, and ching ching.
Yeah. Cup of tea. So this is a special episode because we're actually, one, we've finally finished Cowboy Bebop.
Yep.
It's done.
Yep.
We survived the holidays.
Yeah.
We've survived your move so far.
Sort of. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. We did try to do a recording a few days earlier at Colin's new place, but it turns out that when you rip down a setup and put it back together, it doesn't always go back together the way you want.
No.
Which is, as we discussed at the time, which has happened so many times before, and yet the only time I've ever done it, it hasn't, for one reason or another, actually worked. And I don't know why that is, because it really shouldn't have.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing how it does.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Yeah, and also it's a Valentine's special.
It is, because it's Valentine's Day.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. We're recording this in the nth hour. So it's getting tight. We're gonna keep this to tight discussion about the movie, so I can get this edited, uploaded, and sorted just in time. And then, of course, this is our now famous. I realised we didn't do one of these in between Golden Boy and Ghost Stories. We just went straight from Golden Boy into Ghost Stories. We didn't do a palate cleanser.
No, that's kind of what born the palate cleanser.
It's just too many weeks of watching. It's okay, I guess. Yeah. It took its toll on us. So we're going to do our palate cleanser, which is called Your Name.
It is Your Name.
And it's on Netflix in the UK anyway.
It is currently on Netflix.
Yep.
I don't think it's a Netflix original.
No, they have not claimed that as their own this time.
Not yet.
And then next week, we will be back to do School Days.
Yeah. Are you looking forward?
I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
You're
and
intrigued.
we haven't talked about what the palate cleanser after that's going to be, but
that'll have to be quick because that's only 12 episodes long.
yeah. And I think we're going to try and hit a stride of 3 episodes in a podcast recording to try and sort of nail this down.
Yeah.
Get a seat. Going into season 6.
Season 6.
Season 6 because
That's
Golden
when-
Boy was season 1.
Yeah.
Ghost Stories was season 2. Haruhi was season 3.
Yeah.
Lane was season 4.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop was season 5.
Season 6.
Yeah.
Wow. It's all celebratory episode. This.
It's pretty, and we've achieved our 600th download.
Yeah. I used up all my bandwidth on my phone to do that.
Well done. It's totally worth it. Actually, we've passed it now, so
Yeah, it wasn't me.
we're all good. So other than the microphone issues, part of the reason that we're recording in person is because you don't have any internet.
That's right, yeah. And hence why I used all my data on the phone.
God willing, I think Tuesday, and then hopefully we normally record on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So all going well with your internet installation,
Yep.
we should be good again to record on Wednesday.
Hopefully. Yep.
You'll have a great cramming session of watching 3 episodes of School Days.
Yes.
Between Tuesday at some point and Wednesday.
That's okay. I've taken Monday and Tuesday off from work.
Perfect.
So I can cram School Days in on Tuesday. But I do generally like to watch things before we do it. So
I do kind of watch things a lot faster and skip through them before we start.
I thought
normally.
you've watched them fully before.
I do watch them before
Yeah.
and then do a quick skip. And then
Alright.
I sent you.
Oh yes.
So I'm not going to mention its name because I don't know if we're going to do it. But I saw it on a list of anime and I was highly curious.
Alright. Okay.
Highly curious.
How many episodes?
I think it's 12 episodes. It's another short one.
Well, it's not bad.
It looks. I don't want to talk about it, but
Yeah.
I think that's something we will have to discuss.
Well, we'll see. We're talking after School Days.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna need a palate cleanser in there. So moving on to talking about your name.
Yeah.
So you'd suggested this movie. Could
It's
you?
Colin.
Your name is Colin. That is correct.
Your name's
And
Steve.
my name is Steve.
And we're your hosts.
Yep.
Because I never did that bit.
Did you not?
No.
Oh wow, that segued perfectly.
Yeah.
Too busy worrying about the fact that we couldn't remember the name of the show.
The show is called Your Name. It's just like the show. Oh, our show.
Yes. So, after we've stumbled over this, this is your suggestion because you've watched it before. You'd watched it before.
I have watched it before.
You watched it on Netflix before as well.
Yeah, I think I did.
Did.
It was on Amazon Prime for a bit,
Okay.
but now Netflix took it.
So you'd suggested this one because it was sort of a kind of a bit of a slice of life, sort of kind of comedy, drama, romantic thing.
Yeah.
And
Ideal for Valentine's Day.
absolutely. And I think the thing that got me about it is I read nothing about it.
Yeah.
I went in completely blind, which if you haven't watched it, I have to advise you do, because I have recommended this movie to no less than 5 people since watching it.
Wow. When did you watch it?
I watched it probably was it last? It might have been last Saturday night.
Last Saturday. So a whole week. And he's
Yeah,
watched
a
it,
week
recommended
ago.
5 people.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's a well done anime movie.
I spoilers up front, was completely blown away by it in a way I did not expect to be, because it starts off sort of a very Freaky Friday of
Yeah.
2 people switching places.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to say, if you haven't watched it, maybe
Yeah.
pause the show
Yep.
because we're going to spoil it
Yeah, we are going to spoil the
because
shit out of this.
that's what we do
Yeah.
on this podcast.
We,
So, yeah, pause.
one of our raison d'etres is to spoil as much anime as possible. We're going to get there.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's Freaky Friday. The talk about switching places. So it kind of starts off saying, ever since that day, I had this feeling of always missing something.
Yes. And that was, is that,
I never having a dream.
that's
But
him that was talking about that part, wasn't it? Or was that her that was talking about that part?
I think they both technically start talking about that part.
Because it's sort of, the movie starts off with this kind of dramatic imagery of a meteorite strike.
Comment.
Well, yes, it's a comet. I don't know if a comet can enter the atmosphere. Because at which point it becomes a meteorite.
I thought there was a difference.
I have no idea. All I know is that a meteor cannot enter that cannot crash land. It has to be a meteorite.
Oh, there's a bit of rock, yeah. I suppose, yeah. All right.
I don't know, but yeah, there's this kind of like
Answers postcards.
yeah, it's in the comments. Tell me how wrong I am. There's a. It's pretty gorgeous, actually. Like the colors and shading and the sort of the animation throughout it all is actually just lovely.
Yeah.
Like, all of it's incredible. It reminded we did watch Words Bubble Up like Soda Pop, and that's one of the things. I think it's not as visually striking as that movie but not because it doesn't look as good, but because it's not as visually unique.
Yeah, because the color palette in Soda Pop was certainly a lot more.
It's super stylized. Yeah, it's super stylized.
Yeah.
Like this is more lifelike.
Yeah.
But it's stunning. And yeah, you're right. Like it's ever since that day, and as we're kind of seeing the comet,
Yeah.
they talk about missing something.
Yeah, and a dream that they can't never remember.
Yeah.
And they always wake up crying.
Yes, and then that kind of morphs into her being at school. Is it her being at school or him being at school first? I can never remember which one it is. I think it's her.
It's her, but it morphs into the obligatory. She wakes up.
Oh yes, we get the breast fondling first.
Yes, the big.
Super confusing because at this point I was watching it and I was like, I don't understand. It's like people. Why does she not know who she is? It's like, why is she really confused about having boobs now? And it's like, okay.
And then you got the comedy moment of the little sister waking her, get up, and then it looks at her in a weird way that she's like fondling herself.
That is one of the greatest recurring jokes.
She's stating, "Oh, so lifelike."
Yeah, that's right. And then, of course, when the sister comes in and yells at her, it's like, "Come on, get up!
Yeah.
We gotta go." And she's like, "Well, I don't know you, but apparently you know who I am, so something's not right here." Runs up to the mirror and just disrobes.
Yeah.
It's like, and at this point, I'm still like, I don't know what's happening. Why are you confused?
And then the scene moves to coming down stairs, as it were, or coming into like the dining room area.
Yes.
And she sits down and goes, "Oh, that's quite a lot." Type thing, eating the rice bowl, and the little sister offering the grandparent because the grandma's there.
That's right.
And then, oh, you're back to normal now. And you're like, what?
It's like, is she? She doesn't seem to be.
Yeah.
She seems super fucked up.
Yeah, but then she goes out and like walks her little sister to school and then meets her friends.
Who she doesn't seem to know really.
I know, she knows.
She knows who they are, but is sort of behaving weirdly.
No, she's back to normal.
At that point?
Yeah, because basically it's a wee switch, because they're talking about they're switching bodies, and he switches with her and does the
Yeah,
it's only that scene.
Oh god. I was wondering why I was so confused at the start of this movie, and that's probably why. So it seemed like everything was a mess, and then it
Yeah,
was. No, at this point, then they're talking to us like, "Oh yeah, everything. You seem good now.
yeah,
What was wrong with you yesterday?
yeah.
You were terrible."
Bad hair. Then you see you got your hair done and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And did your grandma exercise the demon out of you?
Of course, that's her friends. I can't remember the names.
Teshi
And
and some other.
yeah, but they are a couple in quotations, but they're not a couple.
No, I think they're just friends.
They're absolutely just
'Cause I
friends
think
that
Teshi's-
behave exactly like a couple.
I think Teshi's more interested in Michia.
For sure.
Michia?
I can't remember. Like
Just like the movie.
yeah. Yes, the name has completely her name.
Her name.
It is really funny watching her two friends interact because they're completely a couple without ever being a couple.
Yeah.
That made me laugh more often than not. And yeah, basically, I think her whole day at this point is just finding out that she's been super weird
Yeah.
the previous day, and everyone's glad she's back.
Yeah. You got the basically they have her father's the mayor. He's running for
That's right. He's
mayor.
he's rerunning. He's recampaigning for local government or
Yeah.
something like that because they pass him campaigning. You know, like fucking stand up straight. God, it's like what's wrong with you?
And then the people are going, oh, he's strict on his family. Good.
Tick the box.
Yeah.
He's an asshole to his kids. Excellent.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
And also, she's also again jeered at by the other kids for whatever reason, but that
Yeah.
soon to stop.
Yeah, that's right. They don't seem to like her.
Yeah, she's got some issues in school. Yeah, so they go to school and she flicks through her notebook, and that's where it comes up. Someone's wrote in the notebook, "Who are you?"
It's like that seems like a question yesterday's me might have written.
Yeah. And she's like, what? And then the teacher goes, calls her name and goes, I see you remember your name today.
That teacher seemed to be a little overly zealous of making fun of her.
It's possibly that it's the whole daughter of the mayor thing. They also make fun of Teshi, I think it is. Because it's like, I see the mayor's daughter and the contractor's son are friends. Well,
That's right. Oh yeah, because he's the he's the guy who does all the work around the town.
yeah.
That's right. He's the son of them.
Yeah.
He's never on time for work. Never does work. He's lazy.
Seems that way.
He's super lazy.
And then they kind of like sit in a tree on a bench, like a school desk and a chair, and they talk about her doing stupid things with her bad hair, saying things, and she has like a wee thought of like being all demon-esque.
Is this? I can't remember if this is the bit or not where she says we should go to a cafe.
That's just after. That's kind of the end of the thing.
Yeah.
Where they're talking about how crap their town is and
That's
they want
right.
to get out of it.
Let's go to a cafe. It's like, seriously? It's like, is that a big deal?
It seems to be in this place.
It seems to be. And then she lets them down in grandiose style by the the cafe being a grass patch next to a vending machine.
Yeah, that was Teshi, because they were like basically dissing the town, saying, "Oh, it's got this, it's got that, it's got two cocktail bars for some reason." I think is what it says, and then they go through it, and then he's like, "You know what? Let's go to a cafe," and they were like, "Seriously?" And then it cuts to them just sitting on a bench next to a vending machine, and what's his name?
Taki Tachibana.
Taki is the dude.
Yes. And Mitsuha is the lead.
Yeah. we should also mention at the start, just before he wakes up, as her, he hears a voice of Taki. Taki, don't you remember? Don't you recognize me or remember me?
Yes, that's right.
And that's a line that comes back in the movie.
Teshigawara
Mm-hmm.
and Natori.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so there's her friends, and she's there. Does that? They go to they go to the cafe, where she's like, blah blah, sitting on the bench, and he's just Tashi and Nagara. You're already gone.
I've already closed it, and
Yeah.
I've already forgotten it. Natori?
Notori. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Notori. And she's like, this isn't much of a cafe. Yeah, like this town has a cafe.
No, it has a vending machine.
And then he goes back to his house where his dad's hosting a party for the mayor.
Yes.
And the mayor's saying, you're going to support me in all the towns, aren't you? It's like, yes, I'll make sure everything's working in all the towns.
Enjoy the sake.
Yeah. And he's like, and the son's like, oh, that smells like corruption in there.
Some of his lines are pretty good, actually.
And the mother was like, nope.
No, so business is done in this town.
Yeah.
With corruption. I mean, with booze, maybe.
Yeah. Booze and corruption.
Booze and corruption.
And then find out she's a shrine maiden
Yes.
for the shrine, local shrine in the town.
Yes, that's right.
And she's doing her ritual. No, wait, is she doing the ritual that night? There's a bit where they're crossing the strings and that. You know, like they're weaving their.
That's to her and her
Yeah.
gran and
Yeah.
her sister, though, right?
Yeah.
They're doing that? Yeah.
And then I can't remember if they go and do the shrine thing because they must have, because Tetsuya goes, oh, looks like you're not the only one
Yeah, I think you're right.
against this town.
Yeah, that's right.
And she goes up and she's making this traditional way of making sake, apparently,
Which is to put.
chew the rice and then spit it into a jar, a wee
Yep.
cup,
And let it ferment.
and let it ferment. See that Steve loves that style of stuff.
There is a scene later on that happens, and I kind of winced a little bit, and then laughed at somebody having a similar reaction to me. So that was pretty good.
That's literally next bit because those kids come back and watch her doing the ceremony because it's all in front of public.
Oh yeah, I know it's further on than this.
Oh, it's,
I'm referring to a lot further down the line.
yeah, close to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, I mean they're right. They're right.
in front of public too.
Yeah, I did because at this bit, does she not like she's talking to her sister about how much she hates the place,
Yeah,
and then I enjoy how she kind of just runs down the
the hill,
hill, like just bails it down.
and then screams at the top of her lungs. At this point, her sister says, "Well, you know what? You can go to Tokyo and just sell yourself out. OnlyFans yourself."
Oh no!
Before OnlyFans was a thing, obviously. But and she was like, "No, there's alcohol laws."
Yeah, that's right. Her major concern is the alcohol.
And the sister's like, "Is that your only concern?"
Yeah, the sister is she is very funny. I do like her dialogue. It's really well written. The back and forth between her and the sister is really funny more often than not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the fact she "Who am I's" like Jackie Chan style shouting at the top of her lungs a mountain.
Yeah.
is pretty great.
That's what it reminds me about the later in the movie. Yeah, so she kind of shouts it off and says, "He wants to be a handsome Tokyo boy who
Yes.
lives in Tokyo."
Yes.
And then that's the end of the scene. And then next thing you know, she wakes up in this male's body.
Yep.
In Tokyo.
And Taki?
Taki.
Yeah.
In Taki.
He.
They do make a line like that, and I'm like, oof.
Yeah, I like the. This is the bit where she wakes up and she's like, "Oh, I need to pee," and then the confusion of like, "Oh no, how do I do this?" And then he wakes up late. It was his day to make breakfast, I think.
Yeah, it's his ready to make breakfast for at least the dad.
Yeah.
You want to see that, and he's like, if you're going to be late for school, at least go to it.
It's like, gonna be late for school, that's fine, but please go.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, he's yeah, the dad seems not quite all there.
He's there.
He seems nice enough, but just, yeah, a little bit absent.
I don't know if that's a thing. You know, you hear about these things in Japan where kids are kind of left to their own device.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But I don't know how true that is. Yeah, so he's kind of doing that, and then he gets a text message from on his phone about something. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to be late. Better run.
Yeah.
From his friend, and then he doesn't turn up until noon. It's like, oh, noon. That's a good time to turn up, says his friend.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, Mr. Saratomi. Saratomi?
I can't remember, but yeah.
Saratomi's from Rambo.
But the whole bit about this that I like is that one of the things you don't really know at this point because you haven't seen them be much of themselves and each other.
Yeah.
At this stage, but you'll notice it throughout the film is how their body language changes dramatically when they're out of their own body and in the other.
Yeah.
It's really noticeable for Taki when he's running. It becomes like a lot daintier.
Yeah.
And more careful.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if that's supposed to emphasize like sort of the oddness of like a female mind and a male body and just like trying to walk to be as normal, or if it's just all of this is confusing and I'm going to try it as lightly as possible.
Well, I mean, I suppose just waking up there with a bit of junk.
Yeah.
Between your legs.
Probably a bit weird.
I mean, she did comment on that when she wakes up. There's something there.
Yeah.
And then fondles it.
Yes. But then, yeah, the toilet confusion happens.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, the toilet." Yeah, so it's like Lion didn't get lunch. They make some lunch for our friends.
They sort of make some sort of Frankenstein lunch for him.
Sandwich.
Is it like a sort of mochi roll in a wrap type thing?
Yeah, they had like, I think they had one had like some bread.
Yeah.
And they put that one into the.
He's like, "Ah,
yeah.
I've created this." He seems really pleased with himself.
They do
about his food creation.
I think he was. He certainly was. And then he went to the cafe. He goes, "Oh, you go to a cafe?" And she was like, "What?" And like really gets up and some guy in their faces going, "Cafe? Really?" All fours in their faces.
It's so funny.
And then they go, and it's a dog cafe. It has dogs.
It is. It's a dog cafe.
And they're critiquing the cafe. So, oh, this place got nice roof beams and stuff in it.
It's the bit I like about it is just it's well, I'm gonna get everything. I'm gonna get the best of foods while I'm here, but also you're paying.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, this is that." She makes a comment where is it deer? It's like I could live off that for a week. The amount they could charge. Yes. That's what the comment was. Yeah.
It's too expensive.
Yeah, and then she gets calls saying she's going to be late for work, or the reminder she's got work
for a job she doesn't know she has.
Yeah. And then she asks, "Oh, where's work?
Where do I work?"
Yeah.
Not confusing at all.
No, I mean she already got lost coming to school. That's why she
true.
turned up noon. So how do you get lost coming to school? Well, when you're a gal girl, guy, guy.
Things can be confusing.
Tokyo's like a festival.
Oh my god. It's so ridiculous.
Some of the random things she says. So, as you may gather, she's not actually from Tokyo.
No.
She's in a rural part of Japan.
Yes, she's quite a bit out from any major city. Although within train distance of a train journey of Tokyo.
It seems that way, yeah.
Although I imagine most places in Japan are within train journey to Tokyo.
I mean, it depends on the style of train. I'm not sure that. I mean, they've got a good train network. Better than here.
Yep. It's the. Oh, we're going to be a second out. Punt those people off the train and shut those doors. It's time to go, motherfuckers.
Almost as bad as Germany.
Oh, I've never been in a train in Germany.
No, Germany is just. I believe my sister-in-law, who's German, was a bit shocked at a tram being late in Hanover when we were there. It was like, it's late. It's like 2 seconds out.
I, as a person from Scotland, if the train turns up, it's a pretty good day.
Yeah.
If I don't hear the words bus replacement service, it tends to be, gonna get what I paid for today.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
But,
what a disgrace.
talking about trains though, apparently the government is planning to buy ScotRail back.
The government?
Yeah, the Scottish government.
Well, that could only lead to at least not the bad pricing.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Like, holy shit. There's a surcharge for tickets if you go to Edinburgh from Dundee.
What do you mean?
And actually anywhere up the East Coast.
A surcharge?
Mm-hmm.
What?
For the view?
For the view?
Mm-hmm.
What view? Over the Forth Road Bridge.
Forth Road Bridge and the
And the
Tay and...
Tay Road Rail Bridge.
And then if you go up the coast towards sort of Arbroath and Montrose, yeah, there's that.
Hang on. I should rephrase that. The Forth Rail Bridge. The
Yes.
iconic bridge that you've probably seen.
They don't take the train over the Forth Road Bridge. It's ill-advised.
Yeah, and the Dundee Rail Bridge, which is what, celebrating its. When was the disaster?
I don't know.
18
What was 1872?
No, 1890 something.
I'm going to double check it because I walked past the monument the other day.
Was it 1886 and it was built in 1890?
1879.
1879? When was the new bridge built? They
They
rebuilt it.
Aftermath. Bridges. A new double track Tay Bridge was built. Okay. That's rail bridge. Broad. I typoed.
Broad.
Broad. Interestingly, it says here that construction. Oh no, wait, hang on. Construction of the first one started in 1871,
Yeah.
and then it fell down 8 years later,
Yeah.
and then they rebuilt it 4 years later.
Alright.
Oh man, the first one was open for like a year
Well, here.
before it collapsed.
Yeah, it wasn't open long.
Shit, I didn't know that. I always assumed it was. Yeah, they've dramatically put the words that the history of the first one was that it closed on the 28th of December 1879. I don't think it closed. Well, it did.
It certainly wasn't possible.
Yep. Correct. It's like and sort of like, oh yeah, it's closing time. Well, better like knock down the bridge and kill 70 people.
It's not exactly what happened. It was a bad storm and it fell down.
70 people did die though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Mainly because the train went off and it was really dark and horrible, and then there was no track.
I mean, that trains need track.
Yeah.
Is what I understand. Like, I don't
Or
understand a lot about trains, but that's
or bridge.
if there's one thing I know about trains other than their desire for track, is that they cannot beat gravity. So, and they're also not buoyant.
No. I disagree with the being gravity.
Oh well, then, okay, with maglev maybe.
And Back to Future 3.
Yes, that's also fair. If they'd had that train, then maybe they'd have been okay.
Because they would have gone back in time.
Yes,
Or forward in time.
forward, one of the two.
And flew. A train flew.
God, that movie's bad. All the accents are bad. The plot's bad. That's a bad movie.
Well,
Back to the Future 3 is a bad movie.
part 3?
Yeah.
Just part 3.
Oh, the first two are magical.
Yeah.
The third one is bad. it's
Well,
really.
didn't they film the first two pretty much back to back?
I get the feeling that they were relatively close together, if not like literally back to back. But
Yeah,
I don't think anyone else had the chance to do much work in between that.
Yeah, I thought the first two was back to back.
But the third one is not a good movie.
No, it's certainly my least favorite of them.
Yes.
Anyway, we digress.
Where are we?
Who am I?
Oh, we're talking about trains. Why do we talk about trains? Oh yeah, because you could get to. She's from a village
Yeah, in the mountains.
where you could get to Tokyo by train.
Yeah.
Yes, but now of course she is in the body of Taki and going to work.
Oh yeah. And yep, so she finds out she's working and she's getting told off by the chefs because she's a waiter in a big fancy restaurant.
Yes, and there's another woman. I assume a slightly older
Yeah.
girl who's maybe more in charge of the waiters, the waiting staff to a degree.
Yeah, or the loose swoon over her. Right.
Yeah.
And basically, you don't really know this until she basically gets interrupted by a customer saying, "There's a toothpick in this like pizza."
Oh, that's
Right, and sideways as well.
there's a toothpick in this quiche.
I thought it was pizza.
Pizza? Is it pizza?
It looked like cheese.
Yeah.
And bit thin. So
And
I
he
thought-
kind of goes, well, none of the food in here has toothpicks.
I don't think we can do toothpicks.
Toothpicks not here.
Yeah, and then it's like what? And
Yeah,
then what's the name like?
She kind of steps in
Yeah.
and is like, sorry, of course, your meal's on the house, sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, you should also. We didn't really mention, but Taki has a big plaster inside his face.
Why is that?
Kind of because I think he gets
Beat up.
beaten up at some point.
Yeah.
Because she stands in and goes, "Sorry, here, have this on your house," type thing. And then he brings in a knife, but you don't see the action of what happens with the knife until later.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like what? What's going on here? And then it just cuts to the end. And it's like, oh, thanks, have a nice night.
Yeah.
See you later, guys. Thanks for your hard work. And then Taki is like, oh, I wouldn't just thank you for what you did earlier, type thing. But yeah, and she was, oh, don't worry about it. It was totally a scam because
Yeah.
it was obvious, but we just kind of take it that way.
You do it by the book.
Yeah, and also you have a tendency in fights, and it's hence why I think he's got a big bruise around the side of his face. And then you notice that her skirt's ripped, and she's like, "Oh, that bastard!"
That's right. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, you come with me. And kind of drags her away, and it's like, this doesn't look weird. Doesn't look weird at all.
Yeah,
And then it turns out that, of course, now with Mitsuha
yeah, Mitsuha.
in it occupying his body, knows how to stitch
Yeah,
and sort of
well,
darns the skirt with the lovely pattern.
yeah. Of course, she knows how to get the stitches because they do that weaving the
Yeah,
bands.
yeah, yeah. To be fair, that is the one good thing I got from home economics in school was I know how to stitch and sew.
Home economics is a weird one for me, and the 2 years I had it, because every time we started to do something, the teachers would say, "Nah, you're too troublesome. Let's not do that." Type thing, and then changed it up, and it's like, okay, you're going to design this product, and you're going to make like a garment to wear, and it's like, okay, cool, and then somewhere along the line something happens, and it's like, nope, we're not doing that. And then you go to cooking, and it's like, we're going to make this, and then 2 weeks later, it's like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Was your teacher schizophrenic?
She was calling it Mrs. Romancevich.
Some days or all days?
All days.
Okay,
All
okay.
days. I don't know. It was kind of weird, and I just didn't really. Nothing ever happened in it.
Well,
It
the
just
two things I learned how to do: sew and burn brown sugar onto a grapefruit in the oven.
grapefruit on the oven, brown sugar on the grapefruit on the oven.
Yep.
That's a classy meal.
It, like, who the fuck wants that?
The home making, home.
I remember we made a Christmas pudding. I was like, I hate Christmas pudding. And it's like, and now we put the icing on. It's like, well, I'm gonna eat the icing, and then someone else can have the Christmas pudding.
Did you lick the icing off?
No, it was fondant stuff, so it just tore off.
All right.
It was easy.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that. I think I made some weird marzipan roll things. I think we actually made something in the
Well,
2 years that I was
there you go.
in the class.
But yeah, so she meets occupying Taki, does this sort of darned pattern of like flowers and animals.
Yeah, nice, sweet, kind of like
Yeah,
mend of a rip in a skirt.
and of course, she takes much notice of that, and she's saying, lately you've been different. It's okay, but you've been different.
Yeah,
So yes, I have. I'm a different person.
yeah.
And that's kind of the end of that scene.
And
Uh,
then she walks her home, apparently.
yes. Now, is this when she starts leaving him notes
Yeah,
in the
because
phone?
yeah, so she basically like, oh, this is because we missed in the comment. She just believes this is a weird dream.
Yes. Well, I think generally both of them just think it's all weird and
Yeah,
dreamy.
but she openly admits it in the dream
That's
too.
right.
It's like, oh, what the hell? It's a dream. Buying
Yep.
this pancake.
Yep.
Oh, um, well, she say something else.
Which
It's only a dream.
this is where she sets the date up, though, right? Or is that
No, she
slightly
just
further down the line?
she's just making kind of moves towards it, and then she does write a note saying, I walked Mrs. What's her name?
Yeah.
Omanisha. Omania?
Check her name now.
Home. I mean, if you haven't watched it yet and you're worried about spoilers, at least the one thing you won't know is anyone's name.
Yep.
Anyway, she's walked her home that night, and then she remembers the note in her book,
Yep.
and she writes her name there.
I don't remember her name. Ugh.
Yeah, and then it kind of like starts to do a, what do you call it when they do the scenes?
Miki Okudera.
Oh yeah, Okudera. Oh,
Yes.
Miss Okudera home.
And so yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just double checking we haven't fucked up anyone else's names. I think we're good so far. Okay, I'm just
I
thinking.
did say Sarah Tommy, but like I say, that's not their name.
For who?
The guy that sent the text to Taki seems late.
Uh,
Classes. wear glasses.
Tsukasa?
Tsukasa.
Tsukasa, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
His name is Tsukasa, and I immediately went, oh, Mikasa. You fucking idiot. Why did you say that's a bad joke? And yeah, so funny.
Tsukasa me?
Yeah.
Where's that from again?
Mikasa Tsukasa is, I can't remember what it's from, but it's my house is your house.
Yeah.
My home is your home. Or my name is your name, in this instance, potentially.
Yeah. Anyway, so it kind of cuts to them going. We started to realise they aren't dreams and we're actually interfering, but we don't really remember anything of the dream itself.
Yes, they don't remember anything about the person they are. They don't remember anything about that connection, which is kind of, what they were talking about, the kind of that weird missing feeling, the sadness, and that to a degree. And we kind of enter sort of a montage for the next little while of sort of the random shit that's going on, more boob fondling, plenty of that.
Yeah.
Lots of interjections of the sister going, "Oh my god, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
I think the date is in this bit as well, or is that sort of? I'm sure
it gets set up later.
Is that actually? You know what? No,
Later.
that is the last part before the change.
Before it all comes into vision.
So this is mostly back and forth of them sort of like writing each other notes and sort of stop fucking touching me when you're in my body. It's creepy.
Yeah,
definitely a lot of that.
Try and set ground rules. They say set ground rules.
Yes,
but then they were like, what?
They also fail miserably at ground rules. Because they do nothing but interfere with each other's lives constantly.
Yeah. Actually, it does go back to Taki just before that montage, and it's him in his body, and he's finding out all the things that he's done.
Yes, because he's kind of furious.
Yeah, it's like what? And then all the elevators are all mad up.
Right. Of course, yeah, because it's like and I walked Miss Okadara home, and and then they're all like, "What the fuck did you do? you creep!"
Yeah, bro code, man, bro code.
And then she comes in. She's like, "It's gonna be a good night. Is that right, Taki?" It's like, all the other guys are less than happy about that.
Yeah.
So it goes through that whole montage sequence, and I think the end of that sequence is sort of the bit where Taki and Miss Okadura have been kind of like getting closer.
Yeah. Because of her.
Because she's meddling.
Yeah. So quit meddling with my life. Yeah, so they're getting closer. And also, other things are happening. Mizuki's life?
Mitsuha.
His life. And I think it ends as it goes to her at this end of the montage. Was it to go to him and he's her and he gets up and wants her where the sister goes like, all right, you're doing that again, cool.
Yeah.
And then he gets up and changes into school uniform and says, what are you doing in school uniform? I was like, oh yeah. And then the trek up the hill.
That's right.
I think is that at this point? Or if I jump missed out a bit?
Well, it has to be at this point. Well, it has to be before that point.
That point, yeah.
So, they do go.
Yeah, I think it is because they trek up the hill with the sake that was made at the start,
and it's the sister Mitsuha and the gran.
Yeah,
and they're going to pay their respects.
And
at it's like a cave.
It's an old shrine,
of rocks.
Yeah, it's like a wrecked village. Apparently, there was a wrecked village. There was a
Well, there was a meteorite strike.
Yeah, but we don't know that. There was a big fire. Was the
Is
story
how
that?
it's described.
Well, that's how. Because originally, you kind of get told the backstory when they're doing the weaving,
Yeah.
where it was like known as thingy's Great Fire or something, and this sister goes, "Oh, that's
Oh yeah, because then when they're walking up the house, who the hell is that? It's like, what? What are you
yeah,
talking about?
yeah." So they go into his shrine, uh, and they walk up the hill, and then she starts talking about unions and stuff, how things are
Yeah.
because of the sake and that, and its current party is
Times are
union,
changing.
and time is a union, and sharing things is a union. It's all
Yeah.
about a guardian god identity or something.
Yes, it's about the various connections that people can have
Yeah,
in different ways, and they trek up, and she or of course Taki in Mitsuha's body offers the granny a piggyback, which I thought was pretty great.
yeah.
It's like dragging her about for a bit.
Oh no. It's got about one other instance when Taki was in the body and talking about ending like the kind of bullying of the other kids, where so you don't actually see it. Well, you see it in a flashback, but
Uh-huh.
it's before the montage, and it's basically why is everyone? She comes in. Why is everyone staring at me in the class? Oh yeah, you came in the scene yesterday. I was like, oh, did I? And it was like they're doing the fine art, and the other ones are going, oh yeah, yeah, that mayor type guy, he's a bit sleazy or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, but just like the daughter type thing. And he's like, and he goes, they're talking about me, right? And her friend goes, yeah. And then she just like kicks over her desk
That's right.
and stomps and goes, "Arr!"
I
Looks mean.
I like the fact that it's like you made a scene the other day, and it's not a did I? It's like I did I? It's like not. I know I don't remember. I know it wasn't me, but I'm fairly confident it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
And that's that. But anyway, we're going to like climb up a hill.
Yeah,
Got the ground back. She's talking about unions, and it's a big trek
yeah.
into the middle of the mountains.
But it's but they kind of crest on this hill and look down into this deep valley that's basically just grass and like a few huge boulders.
And a bit of water running
Yeah.
through it, and a cave structure.
Yeah, it's like it's made up of like bigger but it's not
Yeah.
like a cave in the ground. It's a
Yeah.
cave fashioned on top of the ground of
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah, yeah. And they talk about stuff and go down, start crossing like the stream which surrounds the cave,
Yes.
and says that's the Netherland into the Nether realm. Nether,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, and you cross into the Nether realm now. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
We also missed out. There's some other key points where in class they're talking about like Twilight being
It's the golden hour.
golden hour or
Magic hour.
magic. Yeah. Which is important.
Well, because Twilight's origin, Twilight is sort of dusk.
Yeah.
It's dusk, it's twilight, and twilight was the golden hour.
Yeah.
And golden hour is also referred to as the magic hour.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of origins of the term, and that's when the kind of times that that's when the bridge between people is the closest
Yeah. To
those
the
unions that the Gran was talking about are the strongest.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so they go there and leave their sake, and they leave and they're walking down the hill, and they get up, and it's suddenly the magic car
Yep.
and looking over at the view of the big lake. It's for the surrounding their city,
Yes.
and the little sister goes, "Oh, it's magic hour,"
Yep.
and it's like that, and then he's just staring in awe at it, and the Gran goes, "Oh, you're dreaming, aren't you?"
Yep.
and then he suddenly wakes up.
It's I did find it interesting that the Gran is very much in tune with her not being her.
Yeah, well, to a degree, she's very noticeable, and um, yeah, so
Yeah.
she kind of notices that, and then he wakes up in his body, and he's like, "Whoa," type thing,
Yeah.
like a Keanu Reeves whoa,
Yep.
and then he gets like a message saying, "Oh," from Miss
Mitsuha.
no,
No.
the one that Misha's setting him up with
Miss.
on Initia.
I'm gonna call her Trocadero.
Cadero.
It's not her name.
It starts with an O.
Uh,
Mika.
Okudera.
Okudera, yeah. Then
Trocadero.
I'm almost there, and it's like, almost there for what?
And then
Right.
finds out, oh yeah, you have a date.
Yeah. I'm jealous. I kind of want to go on this date, but
Yep.
you got a date.
Because she set up her perfect date.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, ah, shit. Manages to get there, of
Yeah.
course, just in time.
Yeah.
And they go to super fancy restaurant.
Yeah, and they up in a skyscraper somewhere.
Yeah, and I like that she asks him, "Do you
You come here
do you
often?
come here often?" He's like, "No, it's way too expensive." And I love the fact more that she laughs at that than because I don't think she thinks he's being funny. I think she is well aware that he's being super honest at that moment. It's really good.
Yeah. And then I think he's left like, oh yeah, you're a bit of a wallflower, so I figured you'll need these handy links, and they're all like just dodgy like clickbait links to
Yeah.
how to pick up girls or do a date with girls. And he's like, oh, she's having a laugh, she's mocking me.
I mean, she is,
Oh,
but also helping you. Because then they go to is it like an art gallery?
yeah, there's an art exhibition, and it's about nostalgia.
Yep.
And one of the pictures he stares at is the lake for the town.
Yes. Which he just notices
Yeah.
and is like, I feel like I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he stares at it for a long time, and then his date,
Miss Okadaru.
Okadera, we're getting there. Goes, oh, I think you're changed. You're
Yeah.
not the same person anymore. And then they kind of leave, type thing, and then he goes, oh, you hungry? It's dinner time, type thing.
Yep.
You want to go for something to eat? I was like, no. I think you used to have a crush on me, but now you
Not
met
anymore.
someone.
Yep.
And he's like, no, I haven't.
No.
What the hell?
No.
No,
No. But maybe, but no.
no, yeah. And
Which I like that scene actually.
Yeah.
'Cause she. I think she is a great character. She's,
yeah,
because she's it's weird in a way because she's like a little bit like his what you call him, Mr. Miyagi type.
yeah,
Because well, she's like guiding him in a way.
Yeah.
In a lot of it, like she's looking out for him. She's helping him understand more about himself,
yeah,
and that kind of extends in the next little while as well to like
yeah.
really
Hell,
personal investment and time and you know like to make
Yeah.
sure that this person's okay and set up over all right.
yeah.
And of course, when the date ends, he was home, and then this is the last time the switch happens.
Yeah, so he goes home, but before that, one of the last messages that she's left says, "Oh, you'll be able to see the comment tonight."
That's right.
And they had she's given her number, and he tries to call.
And it comes up with the number you've dialed is not connected. Couldn't be connected to.
Essentially, it's no longer in the network. But before it does that, it currently switches back to her,
Yep,
and her phone rings,
that's right.
and it goes, "Oh, hi, Tessie,"
Yep,
and it's like, "Oh, that's not the same guy."
not the same guy.
Yeah, and then
It's
Yeah, you were hoping.
I was hoping for that phone call to connect.
Yeah,
But in a way, I'm also glad it didn't,
yeah,
because I think what is, I don't want to say a cliched story, because
yeah,
it is to a degree, but
mm-hmm,
I think it's done exceptionally well in this, and
mm-hmm.
they could have absolutely rested on that being the movie
Yeah,
until they meet, like, and I would have been quite happy with that, because I
yeah,
think it's still endearing. It's really funny. It's really, the characters are really well done, and but yeah, the whole him ringing
mm-hmm.
and it not being him that's picked up on the other side is weird, and then telling us, yeah, you should be able to see the comet tonight, and he's like, all right,
Don't comment.
what comet? What are you talking about?
Yeah, weirdo. And we should also state that during the date with Okinawa,
No, Okadero.
Okudera, and Osaka. No, that's a completely different character.
No,
I know, you got it right, Okudera.
no, but is it Miki?
Miki, yeah. Once he finishes the day with her, it does the call. But during it, it cuts back to um, Mitsu,
Mitsuha.
Mitsuha.
Yeah,
I'll get there and then.
I'm lucky. I can read them.
Yeah, I had no data on my phone, so I can't do that.
No.
Anyway, it cuts back to her, and she's like getting ready for school and starts tearing up because she's like, "Oh no, shit,
Yeah.
I want to go on that date."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it cuts back to him, does the date, tries to phone her, says he can't connect. Cuts to her, where she picks up and goes Teshi, and it's like, "Oh yeah, you coming down to see
The meteor.
the meteor? Oh yeah, that's right. We'll go and see the comet." So she gets up, dress, meets them at the cafe because they built it up now.
Yeah, they've added like a little bench,
Yeah,
umbrella.
might have an umbrella too
Like,
now. Yeah,
like,
they
I thought
jazzed
that
it.
was nice as well.
They
Like,
jazzed it up,
yeah.
just like the bus stop in Shetland.
Is that what they've done to that?
Yeah, it's like because Shetland is a bunch of islands and
Yep.
it's the furthest away island.
Yeah, as it's further away than Orkney, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 70 miles to closer to Norway, and it's over 100 miles from Scotland. And the only reason it's technically ours is because it was a dowry of a marriage that never happened.
The only reason it's ours is because nobody else wants it.
Well, Norway was in debt, and the only way they could put the dowry was they gave Shetland. But then I believe the King of Norway's daughter failed to reach Scotland,
Oh shit!
but we kept
The island.
the island.
Yeah.
Much as some of the islands now, I believe they wish to be.
Wow.
I mean, more Norway. Anyway, that's a bit of Scottish history slash conspiracy. I don't know. Anyway, what's it? I can't remember. It starts with a U. There's one island, and up there,
The
because
Uist.
US. That'll be it.
North and South Uist. I've been there.
US.
It's UIST.
Is that Shetland? Yeah.
It's not. It's one. No, that's not Shetland. That's other islands. Sorry.
Yeah, that's.
I don't remember the names of the specific islands within Shetland.
Yeah, US is in Outer Hebrides.
Yeah, it's west.
Yeah, next to.
Not as far north.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Lewis and Harris.
Yeah. So anyway, up there is because kind of like everyone knows everyone and they're really really safe and
Yep.
stuff. They don't lock the door. If
Fuck
you
that.
if you're an outsider, you're going to be recognised as an outsider, and there's only two ways off the island: either by a ferry or by a plane.
Say either you are allowed to leave or in a coffin.
Well, if you do anything wrong, I assume that's probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they got like this bus shelter, and it's got like a TV in it, and like got a sofa in it.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I don't know how often the bus turns up. Maybe once a day.
Maybe being homeless in Shetland could be alright. Like,
Except for
he's
it's,
going to live in this bus stop.
except for like it's like 12 to 15 degrees. Even if you did that, you'd probably get invited into the house. Something like that.
Yeah. And then eating.
Yeah,
That works, right?
because one of my friends, they worked in with a Shetlander, and they said, "Oh, we're going out to Shetland." Oh, right. Well, you can just go and stay with my mum. And they go up there, and the door's not locked or anything, and they walk in, and it's like, what you do? Apparently, I mean, it's true because my brother lived up there for a while, and my folks went up, and because folks are from Glasgow town originally, they have a tendency to lock doors. So they locked the front door.
And carry shivs.
Oh, no, they're not. They weren't like that. At least I don't think they were. Anyway, so they locked the door, and apparently my brother's flat housemate, who was living there, almost broke his arm trying to open the door. I was like, that was locked. Yeah, sorry. Locked the door. Anyway.
Amazing. So yes.
So yeah, they've done up their
Done up the little cafe. Quotes.
Yeah. I mean, and she's got her hair cut
She's cut her hair short or
shorter, yeah.
yeah.
And like, wow.
Which is a big deal for her apparently because she took a lot of pride in her hair as it was.
Yeah. I thought, I knew it looked wrong type thing. And they're walking away, and so there's a comment, and then next thing you know, she kind of stares at it, and then it cuts back to Taki getting that error message on his phone.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's the last time we switched. And then he's essentially wildly drawing these pictures, and looks like he's pretty much gone through high school now. But it's not the case. It's only been a couple of weeks.
It's not been long.
Yeah.
It's exactly 2 weeks. It's like, we haven't switched in 2 weeks. And it's like, uh-huh.
Yeah. And then he takes a trip out because he's in to see her.
He goes with
Saratomi.
Miki and
Sasuke. No. What was it? He made a Misa joke.
Oh, I won't look at it then. It's Tsukasa.
Tsukasa, that's it.
Tsukasa and Okadara.
Yeah.
And this is what I was talking about, that kind of like desire to see him succeed and you know, because it's like, this is the person you're trying to find. This is the one I was talking about, right? Mm-hmm. This is her. It's like, well, I've never met her. It's like, it's like, we did not meet online. It's not what this is about.
Yeah, they were thinking that he got catfished.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That conversation on the train is quite funny, and it kind of you know, transpires that they don't know where they're going. They only know that it's a distance away, and it's probably up to the north of Tokyo towards the countryside. So they kind of head in that direction, and they're looking around, and unfortunately, they don't seem to be able to find it. So
they only have his drawing.
Yeah.
And then they were pretty much
to recognise it.
Classic, just about to give up, go to a restaurant, and he still happens to feel at the drawing, and the waiter goes, "Oh,"
it was the waitress.
Goes, "Oh, that's such and such place." I was like, "Is it?" Yeah, that's a pretty good drawing.
Grabs her husband.
Yeah,
because that's where you grew up.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's a great drawing. Oh yeah, that's totally where it is.
This is it though. This is it. This is where like the bottom fell out my stomach watching this movie.
Yeah,
because it's like, yep, that's what it did look like.
Yeah,
before the meteorite. You're like, sorry, what? Sorry, what? It's like, oh yeah, that's right. All those people died. And you're like, no, they didn't. What? What?
Yeah. Like 500 people died apparently.
Shit. That is like, honestly, is spoilers for the movie Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. Level of twist and fuckery.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. I was also the thing. So my mind went a couple places. One was like, holy shit! I never for a moment thought that was how this would go.
Yeah.
I have no idea how we're going to go from here. And two was just the absolute sadness and disappointment. It was like, well, what if he never gets to meet her then? What if that's it?
Yeah.
What if the rest of this movie is just like silent resignation to
hopeless?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a movie done something like that.
It's like, and the thing is
Well, it was kind of like that, where it's just like
Well,
he's chasing a killer for someone, but it actually is him, but he doesn't remember it.
Yes, I guess that's true. But it's just it's like it's an incredible thing. And then he realizes though, it's like, well, we weren't talking in the same time
Yeah,
because that strike was 3 years ago.
yeah, but he's like, how does that be? Type thing. And then they go and research it. It was like 3 years ago,
Yep.
all this happened, blah, blah, blah. Is it a ghost?
Yeah.
And he started to kind of forget things.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that the difficulty. The thing I think is really nice and sort of a bit melancholy about the movie is just this sort of memory thing where the idea of like a dream is that the longer you're awake after the dream, the less you remember.
Yeah.
And the idea of their relationship and their sort of like love for each other being sort of very dreamlike in that sense. It's like it's so real in that moment.
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember names.
Yeah.
Is incredibly well done. It's very well realized.
It's very much more obvious than it's coming
Yeah.
of the thing. So he's like that, and he's kind of forgetting why he's doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like looks at his kind of like, what do you call them? He has like the cloth wrap around his wrist, and
Oh, it's like a friendship bracelet type.
yeah, the friendship bracelet. And Mrs. Okinawa.
No. Okadera.
Okadera. Comments on, oh, what's that? Oh, it's something I got from someone 3 years ago, and I kind of keep it as a lucky charm, but I can't remember who that is.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Yep.
And then it kind of dawns on him. He remembers about the shrine at that point.
Yes. And he basically at this point, of course, they're like, well, you know, we need to go back. Like, there's nothing that we can do. But he's like, he leaves, like, and leaves Tsukasa and Okadera in the hotel or the bed and breakfast type place they were staying. It's just like, you just go back to Tokyo without me. There's something I have to do.
Yeah.
And he journeys out to the to the shrine.
I like this bit where he journeys out to the shrine and you get a lift by the old dude, because the old dude who recognised the picture and actually takes him there, and it's like
that.
literally destroyed, and it's just like two craters now.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, I've been here," type thing, and then that's when they go back and do the research.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
he goes and then takes the guy.
Yep.
And he takes him up. It's like, right, well, here's a bento. Take that with you.
Yep.
Type thing. That drawing was spot on, or something.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I forgot they get to the what is the schoolyard
Yeah.
of the place,
Yeah.
and it's just
The rest of it's
a
gone.
crater.
Yeah.
And yeah, then he brings him back up. He makes the journey sort of kind of from memory, I suppose, to a degree of like following
Yeah.
where he thought he went and finds the shrine.
Mm-hmm.
And inside there's the two bottles of sake,
Yeah.
encrusted in
Yeah.
moss from
Yeah.
the years that they've been there.
Yeah.
And
It's like, oh, they're still here 3 years ago.
yep. And this is when he looks up. He drinks it
He
because holy shit.
was like, oh, I'm going to drink this type thing. Yeah.
This is the bit I was talking about. I was like, don't do that, but okay. You know that's made from her spit, right?
Yeah, he does.
He sure does.
Because he's like, oh, this is mine.
Yep.
So it's like his, and then he goes, oh, it didn't work because he's already wanted to make that reconnection.
Yeah. That's what it was about. It was like it's the only way he knew to connect with her was to drink of that sake.
Yeah. So, even though he couldn't remember who she was.
Yeah.
And then, so he gets up, and then instantly falls backwards.
Yep.
And he's got his torchlight on, and he's up on top of the cube is a comet.
a cave painting,
of a comet. Yeah.
and this is where we find out that it's not the first time
Yeah.
a comet has struck that, because the area where the shrine is basically a big crater.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. And it was, either that's predicting this in the future and it's been trying to like prevent it, or it's talking about the time that happened there.
Yep.
Anyway, so maybe that's why the fire is lit. Maybe that's why the rest of the film follows the way it does, in the sense that they try what they do to try and save the village. So yeah, because it was named after a great fire.
Yep.
So he falls back, and then it kind of goes into like a stylized dream where he's like going through Mitsuki's life. Mitsuha.
You're close.
I don't know. Mitsuha's life, literally from birth to the time. And then it's at this point I think he goes, wait, that's who she was.
Yep.
I met her 3 years ago on a train.
And this is where there's this weird connection point where she knew who he was.
Yeah.
He didn't know who she was.
Yeah,
and they kind of were in contact on this train.
Yeah. That's when she goes, Taki, don't you remember me?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, wait, who are you? And she goes, I'm Mitsuha, and throws her band from her hair.
Yep.
Which he catch.
Tell me your name.
Glasses. And he wraps it up. And you find out the mayor was the master of the shrine and left them and got thrown out by the Grand to take over from the kids.
Because the mum died.
The mum died, yeah.
He didn't care about the shrine anymore after that.
Yeah, because he only loved her, not the shrine.
I think I hate that character. He's such a douche, but also like there's kind of a sad melancholy to him in general of like even if he did care about that, he can't anymore. It's like he doesn't want to.
It brings back to me bad memories, I think. Anyways, so he wakes up as Mitsuha and goes, I shouldn't, for her sake. Only for the little sister to open the door as normal. And he's crying, fondling the boots. And then goes after her.
That's right.
And then she slams the door in his face, or her face, and like she's lost it this time. I'm going and tells her around, I'm just going on my own because she's all cray-cray.
Yeah, she's lost it.
Yeah,
I can't help her anymore.
Yeah, she's lost. And then she comes down to go to school. She's got her hair cut. And the Grand goes, wait.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, you're not Mitsuha. You're the other person. And he's like, oh, yeah, I had that same weird dream experience when I was young.
And so did her mum.
And then he's like, wait, maybe it was all to warn people about this comet. Anyway, so he basically tries to explain to the Grand, and the Grand says, no one's going to believe you. And he runs and then finds
Teshi and
Mira?
The other one.
And basically gets to school and
Natori.
They basically go, oh, your hair shot. Yeah, I know. It was better though. Type or something. But she cuts her hair because she's thrown that ribbon at him.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like, so we gotta get you out of here, evacuate the town because we're all going to die.
Yeah,
in a loud voice.
It is a very sort of T2 Judgment Day sort of speech. It's like, so the robots are coming, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
On this day.
Yeah, right now.
Playgrounds are going to burn.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure? Yes, turns out she's pretty sure.
Yeah, and now everyone else in the class looks at them.
Yeah, they're not overly keen on the idea.
No, but her two friends help him.
They of
Help him
course
out.
believe her.
Yeah, well,
Well, they will of course help her.
help her.
Actually, there's a really good scene with her and Teshi,
Mhm.
just in a little bit that I like with
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But they sort of, because this is him been given the chance
Yeah,
to help her
yeah, exactly.
survive,
Yeah,
and the village, not just
yeah,
about about her.
yeah,
And yeah, it's interesting because they kind of go through the motions of trying to figure out what their great plan's going to be.
hmm
She gets sent for snacks.
yeah, yeah. And the shopkeeper goes to her, and goes, "Oh, shouldn't you be at school?" Well, we kind of got to save the village, sort of. And they just go, "Ah." So the grand does that too.
Yeah,
It's like, "Ah." Makes that face like what's his name did in Soda Pop. The
oh
old dude.
oh god, that's so good. That's so good.
Sorry.
Oh, I love that movie. Um, and then they kind of arrive at here's a way we can do this. Let's fucking blow shit up
Yeah,
and make people leave the village.
yeah. Well, I mean that was laid early in the movie where the dad goes, "Oh, you're working on Saturday,
Yep.
and you're going to have to burn up in the explosives because we're using those."
And yeah, now I have an innate knowledge of explosives to utilize in this one occasion.
Yeah.
It's like, so we're going to go to what is it, the communications tower or whatever tower it is.
Was it? I thought they were going to the power station.
Is it the power station? Yeah, it's the power station.
The subplant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the substation.
Yeah, we're going to blow that up.
Yeah, so then we're going to blow that shit up,
And then,
and then you're going to get on the emergency line and intercept it. We're gonna hack into that because
Yeah.
that's relatively easy,
apparently. Yeah.
and you're going to be like, hey, go to the school playground here, everyone now.
Yeah. Pretty much that.
It's great.
And then what's her name was like, "You're all going to get arrested." It's like, you're all going to find criminal effects on you. Say it's terrorists and stuff like that. And then she goes, "Are you sure it's even going to happen?" And they're like, "Yeah, because actually this town was formed in a crater
Yep.
like happened 1,000 years ago."
Yep.
And like, oh right. And then so Taki and Mitsu's body goes to speak to the mayor,
Yes, to try and
convince him.
convince him that this is the way that before they do any of this as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah,
we need you to evacuate the town. And his response is, "Don't be so fucking stupid. What's wrong with you?
yeah.
Get the fuck out of my office."
Pretty much, I'm going to get a car and take you away.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not well.
Yeah, and then with that response, he ends up going up to the desk and sticking his right foot on it, and pulling him close to him, going, "What? You're going to do this?"
Yep.
And he's like, "Wait, you're not Mitsuki."
Yes.
This is all that family line.
Yep.
It's not my side of the family.
Yep. None of this shit happened with me.
But knows he obviously been
He's aware.
of the shrine. He's aware of that the switching bodies happen sometimes. Anyway, so after that exchange, he kind of leaves and goes, "Maybe if I was her, he would have listened to me. Would that make any difference?" And I'm expecting no.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then sees her sister saying, "Oh, we'll meet you at the festival tonight." Blah blah. And then she tries to convince them, says, "Don't go, you'll die."
Did she not start shaking her friends?
Yeah, or
Shaking the sister's friends like, fucking don't go,
Oh, yeah.
leave town,
Yeah.
escape.
"You're all going to die."
Yeah.
And well, there must be what,
They're like 10.
7.
Yeah, they're not old.
They're not old. And then the sister goes, "What's doing? Oh, you got to evacuate your grand. You can't go."
Yep.
And then her friends, Mitsuki's friend, Teshi and that, meet up and says, "Right, I gotta go to this place."
Yep.
because maybe she's at this shrine,
Yep.
and takes his bike and goes up the path, and then it cuts to Taki Mitsuki Mitsura
Mitsuha.
Mitsuha. How long have we been going for?
Hour and 26.
I'm still can't get the name right.
That's all right.
Pretty good.
It took us months to get the name of the podcast right.
Almost. I did say Kitesville a few times, that's for sure.
All right. It's all right.
So Mitsuha wakes up in Taki's body and Shrine's like, what are you doing out all the way up here? And climbs up the hill
Yep.
and sees that the town's been destroyed.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, we're all dead. Does that mean I'm dead? Type thing. Realization where her bodies slowly make up the hill in her form. And they eventually get up, and they're both obviously different time periods
Yep.
and that
In each other's bodies.
in each other's bodies, and then
They can hear each other.
yeah, this kind of reminds me of oh, fuck, there's a band name. Chinese? It's like a foreign name.
What are we talking about?
There's a band that did like a song called Mr. Fear. It's not really a famous band, I think.
No.
Kind of came out recently, and that animation, the video for that is kind of like having these people running around looking at things
Oh,
and
okay.
different, and this is kind of that scene.
Yeah, because they're running around the edge of the crater.
Yeah, because they're both climbing up to the edge of the crater and running around shouting their names. You can hear the other person, but also you can't see them.
Yep.
And then like, oh crap, and then this can feel each other as well, I think.
Yeah, they can. Well, yeah, they run past each other
Yeah,
in the different time
yeah,
and stop
yeah.
and turn around, and when they turn around, they can see each other.
No,
Not yet.
no, it has to wait till the magic hour.
Yes, that's it.
Someone gets the magic hour.
But they know that they're there, and then magic hour sort of comes,
Yeah,
and they become visible to each other.
and they can finally see, and then they have the talk for their, well, the few minutes they have.
Yeah, and he
And-
ties
and-
the bow around in her hair.
Yeah, well, they switch switch back to normal
Yes,
bodies.
they're in each other's bodies at that point
Yeah, they're in their own bodies.
because he's now had the influence to potentially change the outcome
Yeah,
for what's going to happen, and they have that conversation, and he puts the bow in her hair, and then she says, we should write each other's names in our on our hands so that
yeah,
we can know. And he writes on her hand,
yeah.
and just as she's about to write
Her
her name,
she got like one
line, and then just wakes
Drops.
up, and he wakes up in the cavern.
No,
Does he wake up in the cavern?
he just drops the pen drops and he's still there.
Shit, that's right. Yeah.
They just change back to their same bodies.
Yes.
And, she drops the pen. He's there and like, right, and now I'm going to get your name, and starts chanting the name.
Yep.
Chanting the name and chanting the name, and then it's like, what's that? And it's like, who am I? On top of the crater, Jackie Chan style.
So good.
Or, what's your name?
What is your name?
What's your name?
I can only think of that meme of the "What's your name?" Tony. Fuck you, Tony. What's your name? Ezekiel. Fuck you, Ezekiel. That's like all I can think of.
Oh Jesus!
But and then of course she's now back in the scenario where she has to try to
Save the town.
save the town.
Yep.
And then she belts the bike.
No.
Oh no, the bike's fucked already.
It was him that destroyed the bike.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Did she steal another bike?
I don't know. I think she just belts it down the hill.
She already fought. No, because she falls off the bike face first.
No.
Yeah.
No. He when he was climbing up the hill, he falls off face first and grabs onto a branch, and it's fallen down a cliff.
No, there's a scene where she decks it on the road.
Yeah, that's afterwards.
Is that after that?
This is again after, like, so she gets into town, meets up with Teshi
Yeah.
because she goes like, continue with the plan
Yeah.
before, and then it's
Oh,
like,
did your old man listen? No.
yeah, no, she didn't actually say anything, but
Yeah.
like continue with the plan,
Yep.
and then he meets up and goes, all right, we're good, let's go. It's like, and then she's like, I'm not going to forget his name type thing,
Yeah.
and she's running through the site of the explosions go off. The other girl's name, who,
Well, so this is the bit before the explosions go off. I really like because he he's got the wire cutters to open the substation.
yeah,
He's like, "Is this really going to happen?" She's like, "Yes." He goes, "Well, we're both criminals then." Breaks into the thing, and also when the explosions go off, they're going away on a scooter, and he's going, "Yeah!" He's fucking loving it. The civil disobedience and carnage that he's caused.
he's getting the rebel feel,
Oh, he's totally into it.
and shouting down the phone to her friends, say, this is what you got to do, you got to do it now, cut in, and then she's going, oh, terrorists, forest fires,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Get to the school playground.
Get to the school playground, and then they run in, and it's like, oh, there's a forest fire.
Yeah.
Get to the school playground type thing in the festival.
Nobody fucking cares.
No one
Why
cares.
Why does no one care? They saw an explosion.
Yeah, and all the lights went out.
All the lights went out. There was an explosion that I'm sure they saw or heard,
Yeah.
and then heard an emergency broadcast telling them that terrorists had caused an explosion and now there were forest fires.
Yeah.
And they're like, festival.
Festival, man.
Festival is festival.
It's over there, it's fine.
Holy shit.
It was quite far away, that.
How
so-
disconnected do you... Yeah, I don't know if I could see a terrorist act, I think I'd probably be travelling further away from it.
Well, maybe some did. But not all. And they're all like in confusion, like, what's happening?
Yeah. Everyone seems very chill about
I'm confused.
a terrorist problem.
Yeah. So Tesha goes, right, you need to go get your old man, you need to get the firefighters, because I think at this point Mitsu says, oh, I've forgotten the guy's name.
Yep.
And Tesha got really upset at that because he also has a big crush on her.
Yep.
And goes, no, you started this, we gotta finish it, type of thing. Snap out of it.
Yep.
Go and get the firefighters from your dad. And then she runs up to the dad or something, who's frankly trying to trace who's on the emergency broadcast.
Yeah, because of course they've hacked the system.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck is saying this stuff?
Yeah, and then finally it's at the school, and then she gets taken away, and then it's like, oh no, it's alright, folks.
Yep.
Everything's going to be fine. And then I think she kicks in the door and goes, we need firefighters. No, none of this charade anymore. Shut up. And then the gran and the little sister's there while in the office. And then I think she escapes. Or
She
what's
gets
that?
to leave because she convinces them.
Does she?
Yeah, because they then it's their system that they start broadcasting the...
I know, they don't broadcast the... I think at that point that she gets in there, the comment actually starts to split up. Because he does cut
Yeah.
to like Teshi, and he's like looking, and then he's getting like mob hustled by his old man.
But they do they do at that point
Yeah,
start to message out that they've confirmed now that this is what's happened, so the dad does have a change of heart.
does it? I thought they confirmed they changed it to something else. Well, maybe you're right.
Either way, I think they do make them evacuate to...
Oh yeah,
They're telling them to go to that place.
Yeah.
Like, even though they know that that's not what's happened.
yeah. I think they do that now, especially since comments split.
Yeah.
And then she starts running away for some other reason. Was it at this point that she falls and decks it down the hill? And then she goes, I can't remember your name. And then she looks at her hand.
Yeah.
And the hand says, I love you.
Yeah.
And she goes, God damn it, that's no help.
That is genuinely harmful. It's like, and I I don't know whether that was the I don't know if this will work or not, but I'm gonna say this because if I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever have the chance to do that.
Yeah.
It was sad because like I like that that's what it said and not the name,
Yeah.
because the name is one thing, but it's no comfort at that point. And
Yeah.
like I like like at this point because we like even though things are now starting to move in a direction of maybe things are looking more positive,
Yeah.
the meter is already split.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's going to end not the best anyway. You're like,
Yeah.
well, that's more of a comfort right now
Yeah.
than the name.
Yeah. He also on top of the roof when the pen drops, he did say he was going to tell her something at
Yes.
that point as well. I can't remember if he actually says he was going to tell her that he loves her or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, digressing backwards to the forwards to the future. So basically, it starts to kind of have like news broadcasts showing, talking about the comet. There has been mentions of this comet all the way through this
Yeah.
show.
Well, because they've been talking about it as a site,
Yeah.
and then of course the tone changes when it becomes dangerous.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Ah, the chances of it hitting the populated areas is kind of low." Oh well.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then so they're doing that, and then he catches to see Taki as his younger self,
Yep.
and he goes up on top of the roof of his apartment building and watches it,
Yep.
and then it cuts to the future.
Yep.
I think from there.
It does. Where?
Oh no, no, it does show the meteorite that's landing.
Oh yeah, it does.
Big,
There's a
massive
huge explosion. Yeah, like
Jordan explosion.
because he sees it, and then there is an explosion,
Yeah,
and then the aftermath of that is, of course, he then comes to find out is like, well, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be
yeah,
because the town was destroyed,
yeah,
but most people, if not all,
yeah,
close to were moved to a safer area
yeah,
during that time, but it's not known whether she survives that or not because he doesn't know who she is.
yeah.
She doesn't know who he is. Well, no, she does know who he is to see him.
No, they only know each other once they see him.
Well, because that's the thing is that I feel like he doesn't remember any of it to a degree. He has a feeling.
Yeah,
Like the part of the I said, like we're in the last like 10 minutes now,
yeah,
and the whole thing about it is that she it was like time passes
Yeah.
because it was the not only has it been 3 years since the
I think it's 5 years
it's
now.
5 years total, so it's
Yeah.
another 2 years on top of there.
Or is it 8 years? Is it 8 years since the comment?
It is. It's 8 years because it was 3 years and 2 years and then another 3 years.
Where's the 2 years come from?
I don't know, but yeah,
I think it
have a
was
feeling
3
you're
years.
I have a feeling you're potentially right,
I think it was 3 years at the point when they were doing that.
and
When
then
he-
another 5 years has passed
And then another 5 years, and they've been kind of like looking
Yeah.
for this.
because
thing.
he's graduated.
Yeah,
He's looking for work unsuccessfully.
yeah.
He
He's a landscape architect of some sort.
yeah, and because he wants to make
Open.
open spaces
Yeah.
beautiful and inviting to connect people.
Yeah,
And he meets Miss Okadera,
yeah.
and they kind of have
A week.
a kind of a wee conversation because it's been a while since obviously
Yeah,
they've seen each other. They haven't seen each other probably since he graduated fully, I imagine.
yeah,
And he's kind of talking about. He says, "Are you working yet?" And he's like, "No, not yet, but
yeah. Also,
hopeful."
yeah. Also talking to his friends, and it's like, how many has that been? I've lost count.
Yeah, but I like because it is she was like it was really nice to see you, and as she waves, we see a wedding band, which I
Yeah,
think is actually like a really nice touch. So she's kind of okay,
yeah.
and then we kind of cut to Mitsuha, who's in Tokyo now.
No, no, you don't. Can you?
Because there's a scene in a restaurant.
No, because they meet on the bridge. They meet on the bridge, right?
Who does?
Uh, Taki and
Okadera.
Okadera
Yeah,
meet on
yeah,
the
they
bridge,
do.
and then
Yeah,
after that,
yeah,
it kind of like a woman with an umbrella walks by,
that's right.
and then they kind of look at each other slightly and go,
Yeah,
"Is that the person?" And then continue on,
yeah.
and then he goes to a cafe, and there's Teshi and
Sorry, you're right. He goes to a cafe, and it's Teshi and Satori,
no,
or what's it? Or
Misa. Oh,
no,
Misa
no,
Casa. Misa Casa.
no. It's no, because
No, you're right.
Tsukasa's the guy.
Teshi.
It's Teshi and Natori,
Natori. Yeah.
who, like I say, had behaved like a couple for the whole film, even though he was really interested in Mitsuha.
Yeah, I think she knocked him out of that one. She was like, I can't remember the guy's name.
It's sort of, for me, it was it's a little bit of the Harry Potter, because I think you're supposed to feel that Harry and Hermione are supposed to end up together,
Yeah.
and they don't. Like,
Yeah.
even though Ron and Hermione have always been
There.
a couple, but not a couple, it's that same sort of thing
Yeah.
of like, it was, yes, that was something was there, but it wouldn't have lasted. This is what meant something, and
Yeah.
they're arguing over like, is it their wedding that's coming up or something like that?
Yeah. Basically, they're having a wedding and basically saying, I thought you wanted to get married in a shrine or a cathedral or something like that, but she keeps changing her location if she wants to get married. And then she says, oh, can you also shave for our wedding? And I'm on a diet. And he's like, on a diet if she's eating a dessert.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll start tomorrow.
I like that. That's a nice touch.
Yeah. And then you see them again in the background.
Yeah.
Eventually. But so then it kind of cuts to the start of the movie. Because the start of the movie was set in this time.
Yeah.
Where they're waking up and stuff, and they both wake up, and then he's heading to another interview or something, and gets on a train, and he's on a train, and she's on a train, and they kind of like don't know how it works.
They're on opposite trains.
Yeah, going opposite directions, but at the same time going slow enough so you can actually see into the window.
I
I can
suspect
never
what-
see into the window when a train passes.
So I suspect what was happening, I think,
Uh-huh.
was that the two trains were coming into opposite platforms in the station.
Okay.
So they were slowing down at the same time,
Yeah.
which is why they were then able to.
Well, or one was speeding up, because you would never do it like that. Because one train would go in that direction, and the other train would go in that direction, so it'd go like that, and the windows wouldn't meet up unless you're in the front carriage, I suppose.
I don't know. Either way, they both ended up getting out at that station.
Oh
You know what I think?
no, I think they kind of saw each other, and then
Because he bolts looking for her, and I don't think he bolts looking for her in the right direction of another station.
I think
I mean, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, they get the train because they go, wait, that's that person.
Or I need to talk to that person.
Yeah, I for some reason I need to know that person, and then they kind of meet.
Because this is kind of the bit what I mean. Because they then of course pass. He runs and finds himself at the bottom of a set of stairs.
And then she's at the top.
She's at the top, and they walk past each other. I genuinely, for a moment, I was like, I wonder if they're just not gonna
Right.
do anything.
Yeah.
But I think the thing for me was, I don't know why, but I felt like she, for some reason, knew more about it than he did, and I don't know why that is.
I don't. I think they're both in the same closed path because they kind of walked by each other, and it wasn't until he got up the stairs, he got kind of the courage to say.
But she knew who he was on the train the first time they met.
Yeah, but that's after all. That's like during the time, because she it was literally that was like literally. See, the date doesn't make sense to me in this movie, because the date is on the day of the comet, right?
Uh huh.
But she wakes up, and then starts crying. And I think on that day,
Uh-huh.
she goes to Tokyo for a date, she says. And sister goes, I didn't know you have a boyfriend in Tokyo. Oh, no, not my date. Not.
Well,
And then I think that's the same day as the date, only the date is the day the comet lands and it kills everyone.
but I think the thing it's the date that's the right date. It's not the year. I think that's the confusion.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but it's her going to Tokyo
Yes.
on the right date.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is that it's the right date. He's 3 years early for his date
Oh, yeah, but
because she's seeing into the future, so she's seeing him 3 years from then.
yeah,
So when she sees him in the train, he's 3 years younger and knows nothing of the date.
yeah.
So she is going into she is going into
Oh,
to
yeah.
Tokyo for the date that she thinks is happening in the same year as the person that she's connected with.
Yeah, but they don't know they're in the future until
But that's exactly the point.
he finds out that
She doesn't
dead.
realize that.
Yeah, she doesn't know that. Yeah,
She doesn't know that, and neither does he.
Yeah,
So the whole thing is that it's perfect. It's perfectly plausible for her to go. Today's the day I told him that date was.
yeah,
So I'm gonna go, and she does, and she sees him, but it's 3 years before the date.
yeah. No, I understand that part. That's the part I understand. I just don't understand the time difference in him on having the date, which is maybe the date of the comet. Oh no, wait,
Well, it's
wait,
not
good-
because it's the
oh,
night of the comet. It's the night that night.
No, because you can see the comet. Because it is coming up on the broadcast. It does say, "Oh, you should have been able to see the comet for the past week."
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, no, I get
yeah.
it.
So it does line up.
Yeah, it lines
does
up
line
because
up.
that. It's just that I thought you can only see.
Because remember, it's also that is the last message after the date that he reads.
yeah,
Is you should be able to see the comet by now.
and we've been failing to mention that in the last time it happens, he does go. I got a memo on the phone,
Yeah,
and he looks at the memo and it just
it disappears.
goes to gibberish and disappears.
Yeah, it Back to the Futures.
Yeah, it just erases itself. So anyway,
So yeah, they pass each other on the stairs.
and then he gets courage to go, wait, do I know you? Type thing.
Yeah,
And then they both go, eventually go, yeah, I think I do. I was going to ask you the same question type thing. What's your name? As they say simultaneously. And then ends credit rolls.
yeah.
Because they don't find out the name ever.
But that's the thing is that gets me is for some, I don't know what it was for me. For me, it was almost because she knew who he was at that point.
Yeah.
There's no reason that she shouldn't know who he is. Then,
Well,
in theory,
that's the point. That's like the day the comment
it
the
severed the
crash.
connection.
Yeah, but the day the comment happens as well as it also states she gets the name. That's what she's doing. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's the day later.
I don't know. You're absolutely right.
It's
Just
just
for some
tiny-
reason in my head, it was almost like she was nervous about doing it first, because she was worried that the reaction would be
the same.
or just
Maybe it's something in their subconscious.
I mean, potentially.
It's
It's certainly why she didn't say something first. But
Yeah.
that's what I thought it was. I thought she knew everything to a degree,
Yeah.
and was like, I need him to do it for. I need him to recognize it because I don't want to bring this up and then be shot down.
Yeah. Also states that then we realised what we're missing was someone
Yes,
as a loving ending of the thing.
I love this movie.
It's good. It's a great twist because, like I say, the start of the movie is kind of like leading up to basically saying, "Oh, we had this dream about something, and for some reason I cry every morning or something." And we don't know it. And you see her as an older lady, older person in that scene. So you kind of already know that they must have survived the crash. But then it kind of goes, oh wait, but everyone dies in that village. And it's like, what? That's the weird twist. And then they go and save it.
What do you give it?
Give it a 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 10.
Give it a 10.
It is honestly very close to a perfect movie. Like, there's very little wrong with it. Like I told you I swithered on Tokyo Godfathers,
Yeah.
and I get that. I actually went to read who wrote it after it because I was like, I know it's not that person, but it's like this is just there's a way that this is written, and its snarkiness and its cleverness and its sentimentality,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like it's not the same film. They're completely different,
Yeah.
but it gave me the same feeling watching it.
Yeah.
Like I say, there when we talked about Tokyo Godfather, there were properly moments where I was like, for brief seconds, it's like just devastated at the choices that were being made on screen, and then feeling that resolve. But it's very rare when you like. Both Tokyo Godfathers and Your Name are movies where I have audibly gasped at a part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like it's so rare that I get that.
Yeah.
And I was just like I say, I was enjoying the first 40 minutes of it. I was just kind of like, this is really it's cute and it's entertaining and the characters are fun. And would it have been a 10 out of 10 film for me? Maybe not, but I would have enjoyed it. Like, if that's how they wanted to like just play it out, and it was like, until we meet, and it's like, that'd be nice. Like, I'd be curious to see that story.
Yeah.
But the fact that it takes the twist it does, and the mission of the movie completely changes, and the tone is very different, and it takes the sort of weird spiritual parts that are kind of mentioned in the first half of the movie, and leans very heavily on them to like deliver something. I adored it. I think it's a phenomenal film.
Yeah, well, I think the scene on the train where she throws like the band-aid is at the start too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think I ever heard about at least in Japanese culture, I think you had like red string tying people together.
Yeah, I know. Red's a lucky color, right?
Maybe, but I know that
do Red Letter Day is a thing.
Red Letter Day is bad here.
Is it?
If you get a red letter, you're generally in debt and you're about to come and collect it.
Because I think, is it not where like grandparents and parents give their kids money? Like, that's the thing, is they give them that in red envelopes.
Maybe, yeah.
I think is a Chinese tradition. I could be wrong. I seem to remember that being a thing.
Or Japanese. Maybe Chinese.
I wonder if it is still.
It's Japanese. Anyway, so, but I kind of know like I think red string is like a string of fate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then tie it to your pinky, and that's it. That's you tied together. It would last for a day or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I was going by watching Ranma 1/2. There's an episode like that.
I watched Ranma 1/2 and
Oh yeah,
a while.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
It's been a while for me too.
So yeah, we've reached the end.
This is the end.
I used that song as a quote. I used the quote from that for our Cowboy Bebop episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
This is the end. In the words of Jim Morrison.
Jesus, man! It's just like it lasts for like 10 minutes. That song.
Oh, it's a long song,
and it gets really trippy as fuck. It's like, Mama.
The Doors were a band. And I also think like Jim Morrison was maybe 27 when he died. Like, not an old guy.
No.
Visited his grave actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the famous cemetery in Paris.
Oh wow.
You actually, well, it sounds like a really morbid thing that really fascinates me is you go and they give you a map to graves.
Nice.
I think Orson
Welles?
No, George Orwell is buried there, I think, as well, and a few other people of relative fame.
Wow.
It's weird.
Napoleon?
No, I don't think so. Don't think so. But yes, Who's That Anime is an anime podcast. We can be found at anchor.fm/whosthatanime and listen to anywhere where a good podcast can be listened to. I understand these days you don't subscribe to a podcast on Apple Podcasts, you follow a podcast on Apple Podcasts. So you can follow our podcast on Apple Podcasts. You can subscribe on Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Overcast, Spotify, pretty much anywhere else.
What's the difference between following and subscribing?
That's the secret. There's no difference. They've just changed the word.
Why?
I don't know. And then, of course, we have our Facebook page, facebook.com/whosthatanime, and there you can find some memes when we put up new episodes, other videos, YouTube videos. Speaking of which, we have a YouTube channel. You can look, if you find youtube.com, look for Who's That Anime, and we're putting up some content every other week.
Yeah, well, this week.
Yep.
We've just put something up for the Teachera.
Oh, man.
Quality show that was.
And I had at least 3 to 4 minutes of entertainment out of that, and it mostly revolved around that bear thing that lived in the box.
And that's one episode.
Oh no, he's in a few of them.
I don't know, but 3 to 4 minutes is one episode.
Yeah, one episode out of the 10.
I think there was more.
Yeah, maybe more than that. Yeah, that was a trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to revisiting that.
Almost at the doors.
And then, of course, Colin, you like to play games, and you probably will be able to play games and stream them at some point soon. Now that you have your new property and an internet connection pending.
Upload.
Yeah. So you play games at twitch.tv/couchfuel, and the archive of all those games and streams can be found at YouTube. So if you just go to youtube.com and look for Couchfuel on the channel. Similarly, sometimes I play games on twitch.tv/HailPayman, mostly horror games, and the archive of that work can be found on YouTube as well if you look for the channel Hail Payman.
Yeah.
And that is us. And next week we will be back with
School days. Yeah, 3 episodes.
Yep. It's going to be a trip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it will be a trip.
Sweet.
I'm loving to see your reaction to that. 'Cause I watched that one too, and I was like, I'm never going to watch that again. And now I decided to watch it again.
And yet, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Valentine.
Fantastic.
Anyway, so this has been Who's That Anime, and we'll catch you in a not too far distant, in a new location, far away. Or not that far away.
In a galaxy far, far away.
In the galaxy far, far away. That is also
an anime.
I think there's an anime.
There's those shorts on Disney Plus.
Yeah, was that not the Nickelodeon, the Cartoon Network thing?
Oh, Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's anime.
And then you got droids. Remember droids?
Bad Batch, Ewoks.
Yeah, jeez.
Jedis.
You know, I didn't have enough of it then. And for some reason, I can't have enough of it now.
We will see you next week for school days. Take it easy, folks, and go and watch Your Name. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
If you haven't already.
If
you've listened this far and you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, but you would probably still benefit from watching it, and I think enjoy it.
It's certainly a beautiful anime to watch.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Right, take it easy, folks.
Ciao.
Bye.
Well. Yeah. Episode 50. Wow. So you should be able to see School Days on Crunchyroll, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You have done?
No.
You got to stop the video recording, have you?
A star.